All right. Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to another Market Open. It is March 7th, 2023. We are here at 9:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jason, hello. Eeyore was right. Hello. Vincent, hello. Roy, hello. John Stevens, happy Tuesday. Hello. I'm sorry I missed yesterday. I'm deeply sorry. I had some stuff to do that kind of conflicted with 920, and I was just like, oh, it's going to be really hard to make the market open today. I felt like crap for missing it because it's one of those things I don't want to miss ever, but it's like sometimes you have to like make the trade-off, but I don't want to ever have to make the trade-off. I want to be doing market open till I'm like 80. Like I want to do it every single day. So I'm sorry for missing yesterday. I'm going to make sure to like just try my hardest every time to not miss it. But yesterday just got so busy, man, in the morning, and I had to like pick up so many things from like a store. I had to go get like, it just got really tough. But nonetheless, that's an excuse, and I don't like excuses. So we got to move on. We just got to keep doing it. Got to keep going. No need for apologies, admit I'm always here for you, Zeth. I appreciate you. But no, like there were people that reached out that were actually like, where is the morning open? And it's just like, it's I don't want to let anyone down. I want to be here every day. It's 40 minutes of my day and hopefully provide some entertainment for you guys and excitement and keep it going. Arvin, Finance Junkies is not canceled. We did the episode on Freelance Finance's channel on Sunday. So if you go to Freelancer Finance, you'll see the channel, you'll see the episode over there. Like a snow day, no makeup, market open. Quarantine. Morning, you're human. Yes, I am human. Thank you guys for being here. Adam, they're not real bricks. They are real bricks. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do to convince you guys, but they are real bricks. They are. You look like shit. Well, yesterday kind of kicked my ass in a lot of different ways, and that's why the market open was very hard to like. I woke up in the morning and I got my ass kicked. You ever wake up in the morning and your ass gets kicked in the morning? It's one of those days. Crossroads, good morning. Thank you for being here and making it. What else we got? Ray, good morning. Felicia, good morning. JPal talking in 30 minutes. Okay, that's interesting. I had to watch Kevin and then Yahoo. Oh, I'm so sorry I had to make you watch Kevin and Yahoo. No, I'm just kidding. Kevin does a great job. But I'm back. I'm here. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about. I'll be making a little bit of a video a little bit later today. Morning, bro. You're a beast. Shit happens. Don't worry. What do you mean by Palantir pulls out? So I'll make a video about this a little bit later. Palantir was supposed to have a debate with Foxglove. This is the media organization that was essentially accusing Palantir of being an evil spy company that's going to be manipulating and taking advantage of patient data if they were to get the $580 million NHS deal. Now, Palantir came out and said, look, that's not what we do. And we are glad to debate the head of Foxglove, Corey Kreider, and explain our position. My stance was that this is a good idea. The reason I thought this was a good idea is because as a debater, I was like, well, they're going to win the debate because Foxglove has no argument. Now, granted, the problem is Foxglove, even though they don't have an argument, they can definitely make it seem as if they have an argument by manipulating kind of the facts and the overall narrative of what's going on with Palantir. And so my perspective was, look, if they're able to debate effectively, then they're going to win this debate and it's going to be effective and it's going to be a good thing. Now, they pulled out of the debate, so they're officially not debating. Let me see if I can pull up that tweet. I actually responded to their tweet last night, and I said, well, if you need someone to debate, I could be there. They're ending up not going to be debating. And, like, ultimately, it's actually not the worst thing in the world because, why would you debate someone who's basically going to call you the worst things and spread all these lies and propaganda on a main stage in front of your face? In my perspective, I would have liked to do it because I would have just called them right out and said like, hey, like this is not true and like really gone at them. So this was my tweet. I said, Palantir, if you need someone else, I've never watched Hunger Games. I've never seen Hunger Games. It's like this worldwide phenomenon. I never watched it. Never. But this was their tweet. Breaking, Palantir's pulled out of the debate with Corey Kreider. Was it something we said or was it just a result of the frantic call from the NHS comm teams? Either way, perhaps Lewis Mosley can borrow a fridge from Boris Johnson. I don't know what borrow a fridge from Boris Johnson means. That's like probably some UK humor or whatever. But the debate is canceled. And look, at the end of the day, it does make sense. Why would you debate with someone who's going to spread lies about you and just like spread propaganda and just say random stuff in your face that doesn't make any sense? Personally, I would have liked the debate because I would have, for me, I can get scared and insecure about various different things. debating is not one of those things I get scared and insecure about. Like I'm scared of mice. Like if I saw a mouse run by right now, I would like literally like panic. Not panic, but I would be like, I would not like seeing a mouse. But a debate, that's one of the things I like. I'm just like, I'm ready for that. I get excited for that. Now, having said this, I do think Palantir thinks they're in a prime position to get this contract, because at the end of the day, you could imagine a scenario where someone from the NHS literally called Palantir and said, guys, you don't need to do this. You're going to win the contract anyway. We don't need to like have this entire hoopla of a presentation, because if you're going to win it anyway, then like, why would you go through all this and then let Fox Club say more bad things about you on a public stage? And then if you guys can't defend yourself effectively, then you guys look like crap, right? So there might be a world in which Palantir's like, we know we're going to get this contract. We don't need to go through all this. And at that point, it's not a big deal. Good morning, people. Hunger Games is actually good. I read the books too. How much will the wallpaper cost? Guys, again, this is real. If it was wallpaper, it would be $14.99 on Amazon. Okay. If it was wallpaper, it would be $14.99 on Amazon. But if it was real, then we don't need to worry about if it's $14.99 or not. So mice or rats, both, bro. Both. Like those, like I cannot deal with those. Let me quickly just put this morning live in the Discord. And again, I'm sorry for missing yesterday, guys. I literally just couldn't do it yesterday. And President's Day, I was so upset. I was in Boston. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do it. Blah, 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 blah. And then I wake up and I'm like, the market's not even open. I was so happy. I was like, I don't have to technically miss today because the market's not open. I was like, this is awesome, because I was driving back from Boston for like 4 hours. And I was like, oh, that's great. We don't have to do it today. The real bricks are glitching. Amit is pissed about his bricks. No, I'm not pissed. I'm just saying, like, they're real. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. They're real. I didn't watch the debate. How to go? Again, the debate's not happening, DRK. It's supposed to happen March 15th, but now it's not happening. Let me pull up the market. We also have Meta. That's another headline. Supposedly laying off thousands of people this week. If you're a Meta shareholder, that is music to your ears, because the only word you need to care about is capital expenditures, CapEx, and Meta is saving some capital expenditures by cutting deals or by cutting employees. NASDAQ 11,675. We got 3 minutes to the market open. Duolingo has done really well, ballooning past its earnings. I mean, it's had a great earnings. Let's see if it can maintain the momentum. Now, here's a stock that I have bought about 1,000 shares of over the past couple of days, so it's almost $1,000. Ginkgo Bioworks. I have put in $1,000 at this level. Again, don't copy me into this. I know a lot about the company. I'm planning to do a video explaining my thoughts on it, but at $1.36, I personally feel like it is cheap. Could it get lower? Yes, it could. Kathy has she bought another 1 million shares yesterday. She bought 4.8 million shares 2 days ago. So she has loaded the boat. Now, I'm not following Kathy into this, but I am happy that she's loading the boat, because obviously their earnings were not that bad. 65% revenue growth the stuff that they're promising and their guidance is pretty damn good. They also said no more stock-based compensation for the rest of the year, which is also awesome as well. I'm starting to think this is closer to a bottom. Now, it could get lower. It could definitely get lower if there's an economic, another little crash, but it's starting to get exciting to me. To imagine Ginkgo doubles from here, from $1.03 to $2.05, I think that's very possible. I think that's very possible. Granted, it is also a long-term hold, because, the ups and downs that comes with the biotech is ups and downs, but it's only 1,000 shares, nothing too crazy. I think I'm getting it at the bottom. So I like Ginkgo at 1,000 at $1.36. Enphase, I'm getting ready to initiate a position. Enphase is running at 225. I wanted to buy 200. I wanted to buy at 180. It got to 200, then it bounced back up. Tesla at 193. Also would like to get Tesla at around 185. So Tesla and Enphase are also on the radar to see when we can pick them up. But let's see. I mean, we're in a weird spot right now, because it's like, where's the S&P? We're at like 400 on the S&P. I don't know. Like, we were just at 390 for the past couple of days, and now we're at 400. It's like it's literally been stuck in this channel. It has not moved. And it's kind of weird, because we don't really know where's it going. This massive crash that was supposed to happen in 2023 hasn't happened, but this massive rally also has not happened. So we're kind of stuck there. Okay, here we go. It is 9:30, March 7th, 2023. Wasn't able to do it yesterday, but I am able to do it today. Thank you, everyone who reached out. I appreciate you guys reaching out. And now we're here. Another day, another market open. The stock market is open. Wake your ass up. The stock market is open. Here we go. Ginkgo Bioworks 136 flat as the market opens. Nike 119. Bitcoin 22,335, recovering just a little bit from the lows of 21,989 as the Silvergate scandal happened. I mean, not scandal, but Silvergate thing happened where there was a liquidation last week. NASDAQ 11,673, PayPal 7,673. Duolingo 127 doing well off its earnings. Salesforce doing really nicely off its earnings as well. 184 down a little bit from 193. Enphase at 226. Tesla 191. AMD 81. Neo 922. Neo not really doing that great. Down from $14, kind of stuck in its own little channel. Palantir 823 down 0.6%. SoFi 663, so down a little bit today. I think SoFi was at 682 yesterday. So SoFi down back in the 660 era. Twilio 74.76, Lyft 968, Uber 33, Robinhood 969, Unity Software 29.79, Pinterest 26.72, Google 95.68. So Google was stuck in the $90 range. Google has since rebounded pretty nicely from 95.69. I've been watching some videos around AI and ChatGPT and search and what it can do to Google, and as bullish as I am on Google, I am starting to recognize a little bit of some of the holes that Google may have just in terms of its search business. Now, can Google recover from it? Absolutely. But I think next couple earnings are going to be really interesting to see kind of how Google plays this out. Like my co-founder for my startup, he has stopped using Google for everything and he only uses ChatGPT because it gives him the right answers, right? He just doesn't use Google. And so I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see how Google recovers from that. I'm not saying everyone in the world is going to go through that model, but there will be a little bit of, a shift that is going to affect some of their bottom line. Do I think it hurts them in the long term? Not necessarily, but I'm interested to see how they respond to this. C3 AI, our favorite AI stock, just got a short report written about them that I want to share in a little bit. There's a company that is shorting the crap out of them, and they might have some good reason to short them. Emmanuel back from Jamaica. That's awesome, bro. Hope you enjoyed Jamaica. That is great. Super, super dope. TJ the Wheel Deal, what's up? I did a podcast on TJ's channel, so you guys can check it out. We did the podcast on Sunday, so hopefully you check it out. If Google doesn't fire another 30K people, I will be bearish. Sachin, thank you for being here. Yeah, it's interesting, man. I mean, we know Meta's doing layoffs, and I think Google search being disrupted is actually great for Meta because that means you need advertising that's not rooted in search, and that advertising just might be people scrolling through their phone, and that scrolling through your phone might be Facebook ads and Instagram ads and WhatsApp ads. So it's interesting, but the more I've thought about it, I'm just like, if people that I know that are not using Google are using something else, that is just time that's not spent on Google. And if you just multiply that to the hundreds of millions, that has to be revenue that's taken away from Google search. 60% of their core business is search. I'm sorry, 95% of their business is search. 60% is like the actual ads, and you got 10% on YouTube. Then they have all the other Google AdSense network that they put ads on blogs throughout the entire planet, and they give publishers 68%. They keep 32%. So blogs get traffic through search. Right. So all the blogs that like dailypalantir.com, we get traffic through like Twitter, and we have some ads on it, right? We don't really make money, but we get traffic through Twitter, and I see our traffic from search when people type in Palantir, Daily Palantir pops up. Like if we lose that traffic, then we don't make money off ads, even though we don't make money off ads anyway. But it's just such an interesting dynamic because if there's no search traffic, there's no ads. And if there's no ads, there is no money. That thing falls apart. Now, I don't think that's going to happen to Google. I think they're going to figure it out, but it is a little concerning, just like going deeply into it. So Carisdale Capital is short AI. This is their basic threat on it. Again, AI is the company that's up like 120% in a couple months because their ticker symbol is AI. The CEO of AI said that anyone who works for Facebook should slit their wrist. So this is the type of guy we're talking about here. A services businesses that has failed as a software company, C3 AI is a no-growth, cash-burning industry flop with poor economics, a tenuous competitive position, and dismal value proposition. The company sells expensive, difficult-to-implement solutions that regularly lose out on a plethora of alternatives. C3 serves as a limited application set and pursues narrow niche TAMs. Operations are structurally unprofitable with losses ballooning as sales grow. But sales aren't even growing. Revenue and gross profit declined year over year. Quarterly EBITDA negative 70 million. Significant cash burn with CFO less capex negative 250 million. LTM period and stock comp is another 200 million. Poor business concept, poor financials. AI's marquee partnership with Baker Hughes is falling apart. Revenue targets being cut and contract modifications demonstrating reduced commitments. Baker Hughes has dumped AI shares. Its CEO quit the C3 board. Problem. BH can't sell C3's dismal solutions any better than AI can. basically saying that AI doesn't have any unique differentiated products. This is kind of what Palantir has been warning about many of these analytic companies that exist. Beyond Baker Hughes, customer growth is anemic, with year-over-year growth halving over the past quarters. As of Q3 2022, the last time C3 reported the metric, AI just had 50 customer entities after being in business for 12 years. Sales staff turnover is high and Glassdoor reviews damaging. Given its poor traction convincing new clients to onboard its unattractive solutions, AI features terrifying customer concentration, with top 3 clients being 50% of sales. Baker Hughes is nearly a third and shrinking, fueling overall revenue declines. So obviously we can see that it's not that attractive to them. They ended by saying, we can get that artificial intelligence is a bright future and C3 wants in on the action, but desiring to provide a competitive product isn't the same as actually having one, and a company's worth is a function of its underlying operations, not its choice of stock ticker. Wow. So they are straight up coming out saying that C3 AI is a joke and its stock ticker is the only reason that that this is happening. Now that's interesting. I have never shorted a stock. I have never bought even puts on a stock. I would, it's something for me to look at a little bit more deeply, because I mean, this looks like it's on a silver platter for me to short or put. Obviously, I still would have to do a lot of research before I don't want to just follow Carousel Capital and their Twitter thread for buying puts on a company. It is up 120% month, and if you looked at their last earnings, it was abysmal. Abysmal. It was bad. It was not good. And like app growth is declining, revenue growth is declining, everything. Like they mentioned AI 60 times in the earnings call. They were basically speaking to Wall Street bets, not analysts, and they were trying to persuade them. And so the problem is, how long is Wall Street bets going to keep it up, right? Because this is absolutely a phenomenon of Wall Street bets, and that's the question. Stop hating on C3, bro. I'm a shareholder. Well, Bads, I don't know what to tell you. Bro. I think you bought it at a little bit of a higher price too. That is the problem. The only AI in C3 AI is the word AI in the ticker. There is no other AI. Yeah, I mean, when you think like something like Palantir and how they're, by the way, I think Karp's giving a talk in a couple of days as well about AI and the military and all this stuff. Like when you look at what Palantir is doing with AI, the fact that they have to actually explain it and go deep into depth, and they write a blog about AI, privacy, ethics, like there's legitimate stuff there. And they've been talking about it for a while. And Karp is pretty confident when he talks about their use of AI. C3 doesn't seem like they're talking about it in any meaningful way. I mean, whereas Finance Junkies, dude, go to Freelance Financers channel. Just type in Freelance Financer on YouTube. We did it on their channel on Sunday. So you'll see it on their channel. Maybe Palantir should start saying ontology for 100 times in their next earnings call. That would be hilarious. So again, if you're just coming into the morning open, Palantir has pulled out. Let me look at C3 AI's max. Wow, they were 183. Holy crap. These guys were 183 in October 2020. Goodness great. Bads, please don't tell me you bought at 180. At least be at like 40 or 50. That's insane. Oh my goodness. Did they go public at 180? What the heck? Wow. That's interesting. That means their market cap must have been close to 10, 15 billion around that time. Yeah, so that is what's going on with C3. Now, again, Palantir has pulled out of the debate. If you're just joining, there was supposed to be a debate between them and Foxglove on March 15th. This was going to not decide the NHS contract, but it was going to be a sort of public way for people to look at the NHS contract. That is officially not happening. It's also really interesting. I made the point that I think they know they're getting the deal, and they're like, why would we even go through all of this to get the deal? I think someone from the NHS also might have just talked to them and been like, hey, like, you guys don't need to do all this. You're probably going to get the job. So you don't need to put yourself into this limelight and then have, the UK media hate you even more as a result of doing this. At the end of the day, I just don't think the NHS is stupid enough to not give them the deal. And I also think Palantir is confident to not go to the debate and do this one last plea if they knew they were in a good position to get the deal. I don't know if Rishi, who's a smart prime minister who talked about Palantir already, wants to not give them the deal after literally mentioning them. It would be hard. It would be hard to do that. Would Foucault have a debate with the dog? I agree. I mean, it's an unworthy competitor to debate. But, some of the most funnest debates that I had in high school was debating a kid that wasn't that good at debate. Now, not because you would just demolish them, right? Because you actually want to be really respectful of them if they're just new to debate. But because it's just it's like a piece of cake, right? It's like you're not even worried about them. So it's just it's You would imagine that Palantir would do that, but I think that they're realizing what's going on, and they probably don't even want to entertain it. Graham Stephen was buying C3 AI in the hundreds and doubled down a few times before dumping it. He was open that it was one of his worst mistakes. Interesting. I didn't know he publicly talks about individual tickers. Yeah, that's interesting. Amit, not everyone debates with respect. That's the reality. That is also true. And Corey, the fact that they tweeted the way they tweeted, they were not going to throw respect, given the jokes they were making on their tweets. Amit, have you tried a VR headset? I'm really curious. What is your take? If not, maybe ask Vitaly to hook you up. Yeah, I've never tried a VR headset yet. And that's why I've never been able to even give my full opinion on the metaverse, but eventually I will. Vitaly has like 7 of them in his house. So I should go over one day and just ask him to use it. But I mean, from the reviews I've seen, it's obviously really cool. It's still just makes you dizzy. It's big, it's clunky, and that'll eventually change with new versions of it. You know that a stock falls 1900% to completely recover. That's a 1900% gain. Yeah, that's it's not easy. It's not easy to get it back up. Leaving Palantir out of the deal due to liberal pressure will not go well with conservatives unless there's something in return from liberals. Yeah, it's like if the NHS decides that we're not giving Palantir this deal and we're going to go with this crappy alternative of companies, conservatives in the UK are not going to like it. I think people in the UK in general that want reduced backlogs are not going to like it. That want, an efficient healthcare system are not going to like it. Look, if gun to my head, I would say they get the deal. I really would. I pulling out of a debate, like it's either when I saw the news yesterday, I saw it. I was on Twitter. I see the tweet and I'm like, I just thought for a second, I was like, there's got to be something deeper to why they pull out. You don't just pull out because you're scared, you pull out of these things because you think that there's something else going on. And I think they realize no matter what they do in that debate, they're likely not going to have a chance to actually win or to actually have a fair shot at winning, just given, the competitive landscape, no matter how strong or technical they are. And sometimes that means you don't go into a fight you can't win. And maybe that was a decision. Now, my hope was they're going to do the debate and they're going to prove to the world on live television, YouTube, whatever, that they're not afraid of anybody and that they really know what they're talking about. And Foxglove doesn't know shit. But I don't think Palantir is that confrontational as well, even though they sued the whole freaking government. Like I would imagine, you can get some dog in you, put on the boxing gloves and really fight, take the gloves off for Foxglove and really, punch them in the face. But it doesn't seem like they want to go that route. And I can't blame them. I cannot blame them. But it definitely doesn't seem like they want to go that route. And so I guess we'll see. Yeah, probably no reason to get dragged to the mud. Blue balls, though, wanted to see the debate. I really want to see it. And if they had a head debater position job, I would have applied and done it for just this once. That would have been this. They better get the deal. Our family deserves better, as we do here in the USA. It is a mess. Why go into a fight? You know you will win, but you will still get beat up. Well, that's probably what they thought. Why go into a fight? We know we're going to win. We know we're going to beat them on the answers, but we're still probably going to lose in the court of public opinion. I think that's that was the biggest issue. Let's get back into the market. Let's see what's going on. We've got SoFi down a little bit this morning. Market's relatively flat. Again, S&P being at 400. I don't know what's going on. We had a pretty bad inflation report with the PCE. We saw just a couple of days ago, or was it last week? Last 2 weeks ago, something like that. Not the best inflation report. Fed's obviously very hawkish. We've got Jerome talking in 30 minutes. And, as a result of him talking in 30 minutes, he feels the way he feels. SoFi at 662 right now. We can see Microsoft at 257. Microsoft getting back some of their gains. They were at 275 a couple of weeks ago, but they gave up most of those. S&P still, though, holding on strong at 404. This radical collapse down to 3,200 has not happened. And a radical swing to the upside at around 420, 430 has not happened either. So it's kind of like we're in stagflation within these stocks. We're just like stuck in these areas. I mean, even C3, even though it's run up, it's pretty much flat. NASDAQ has been stuck at around 11.4 to 11.7 for the past couple of weeks as well. Tesla also, look, 190 to 200. Look, okay, I didn't give too many thoughts on Tesla's Investors Day. So we did an episode on the cowbell today. The cowbell will be back probably in like an hour. It'll be posted. And Vitaly did a great job breaking down some of the stuff in Investor Day. What they're trying to do with energy might just be a reason why like Tesla is the buy of the decade. I mean, if they succeed at some of the stuff they're trying to do, and Vitaly gave a really good case study about heat pumps, which they talked about in the presentation with his own house and how, you know, prices went down from like $1,200 to $400 a month. I mean, if they can really scale energy to the world, that's why I think even though the presentation was boring and it was like, you know, Elon Musk says every 5 seconds and someone can get turned off by just watching it. If you actually listen to what they did, and I think Rob Maurer did a great 30-minute supercut, they had a hell of a strategy. And if they can execute on it, this is a stock that's like probably not, Wall Street's definitely not giving it the energy love. It's probably another $1 trillion business that they're going to start to capture a lot of market share with, because no other companies are really taking on energy the way Tesla's doing it. You know, BP says they want to get into renewables, but they don't want to give up oil and gas, right? Like they just don't have the political, they just made $28 billion in profits. It was one of the biggest, I think they doubled their profits from last year. Like it's one of those companies, it's one of those industries where if you're making money, why would you switch so easily, right? Tesla's the only company that has kind of the visionary understanding of where the world is going, and they're building the infrastructure in order to do that at scale. And so it's really, it's interesting to see what they're going to be able to do. But there's a big spike in short interest on Palantir. Can someone confirm? I would imagine there probably is. I didn't see it, but I'd imagine there probably is. The debate sounded stupid to begin with. No need for the feckless angst, annoying it with the mudslinging. That's a good point. Martin pilled a hello a little bit late, was stuck in a call, missed the market open yesterday. You should definitely do it daily till 80. Martin, thank you for being here. Yes, I'm sorry I missed it yesterday as well. The goal is to do it till 80. Like either in the next 10 years, I'm a super successful CEO of a big company and I'm doing the market open every day and I'm like delaying high level meetings because I'm like, nope, 9:20 to 10, I'm doing the market. Even let's say the wildest imagination, my company goes public and like my advisors are like, hey, you can't talk about stocks that are public because you're a public CEO. And I'm like, no, I'm not talking about stocks that are public. I'm just talking about stocks that are not private. And I still do the market open every day. Like that would be a dream. That would be awesome. It's for like 9:20 to 10 a.m. every single day to just still do the market open. And by then it would be just crazy, like the audience that we build and how we would be able to do it. That would be one version. The other version is everything fails and I'm still doing the market open because I got to do the market open. So those are the two versions life goes in. But we've got to see. Tesla increased the mega pack over 2 million products by 100K. Yes. And also the other thing about Tesla that was interesting is this $25,000 car that they were kind of teasing. They want to make 700 million of those. And the way they're producing them is different. It's not robots in a factory kind of doing it part by part. It's now individual human beings having a relationship with those robots, working with them as the car is being grown. So it's just a more efficient process of making those cars, and that's what Giga Mexico is for. Now, some of the analysts are like, oh, that's going to happen in 9 months. It's like, no, like the factory itself is going to take 9 months to open up in Mexico. And then they're going to have to go through a whole new world of manufacturing. Like they're not just going to be able to do it the same way. It's a whole new system of manufacturing, of using the factory. So I think it's going to be a couple of years away, at least until they get that $25,000 car out, because they've got to figure out how to actually build it at an efficient scale. But the fact that they're already ramping that up, it's like, how is Toyota going to compete? How is GM going to compete? That is the question. That is the question. Supercut was a savior. 4 hours of engineering speak is too much for my attention span. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Powell is live. See, I mean, we can look at a little bit of what Powell's saying, but at the end of the day, he's just going to be saying whatever he wants to say. I'm confused why CNBC doesn't have him live. They have Exxon CEO live on their channel instead. But we'll definitely recap what Powell has to say. But at the end of the day, I think Tesla Investor Day was a success for Tesla investors, and they should be pretty excited and pretty happy because, I mean, like that was one of those investor days where I was just like, wow, that was a hell of a day. Hell of a day. Jerome Powell live. Let's see. He's testifying in DC. That's what he's doing. He's it's a 2-hour testifying in front of Congress. Okay, let's take a look at least, we're not going to watch him live, but let's take a look at what this even means, why he's testifying in the first place. Give me 1 sec. Let me load it up. Then we'll go. At first, you were poo-pooing it. I was poo-pooing how boring it was. But now that I understand what it is, it's not as boring.
more about Fed Chair Powell facing Congress and what that means for the markets. Joining us on set is Julia Coronado. She is the president and founder of Macro Policy Perspectives. Also with us, Ed Yardeni, who's the president of Yardeni Research. And Ed, you're going to be at a disadvantage because Julia's here, so she gets to jump off right out the gate. Julia, let's talk a little bit about that. Powell's going to speak, and we can listen to what he says, but then we're going to have a lot of data points that come right after it.
Absolutely.
The jobs number, you've got the CPE. Next week, we've got inflation numbers and the CPI and PPI.
Yes.
So how much weight does what he say carries at this point? And how quick and how transient are those words?
Exactly. That's a great point. And I think he's going to echo the strategy that they're following, which is data dependence, right? They don't think they're done. They think they have more to do, but the data are going to guide them. How representative of the economy is the January data? Do we get payback? How quickly does inflation moderate in the spring?
Is he going to say disinflation 79 times, and will it matter if he doesn't?
He probably won't, given some of the revisions we've gotten. You know, we've seen them adjust their language. We've seen them, you know, step into it and step back. And again, that's the zone we're going to be in this year. There's going to be a lot of ebbs and flows.
So is his goal to say as little as possible because we
Absolutely.
are at a sort of a critical time, just an inflection point?
Well, I think, you know, for two reasons.
The other reason this is happening is because there's some members of Congress, like Bernie Sanders, for example, that thinks the Fed should not be raising rates at all because they don't want people to lose their jobs. So you've got some members of Congress saying you have to raise rates. You've got other members of Congress saying, why are you raising rates? And so I can understand why he's testifying, because members of Congress want to like grill him and see like why he's doing the approach that he's doing. But at the end of the day, we know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get inflation to go down. So as long as he sticks on that message, everything else is, you know, basically justified.
Reasons. He's speaking for the committee, not for himself. So he really has to represent the totality of the committee. So he's going to take a very even-handed tone and represent that entire committee. And then, yes, we're at a time where there's a lot of uncertainty. We've had some wild swings in the data, and their new strategy of proceeding methodically gives them time to gather multiple months of data before making that next decision. Obviously, the next decision is baked in, but the question is about the signal going forward. And they're going to have more information by then.
So, Ed, what does that mean for the markets and the market's response? We have seen the markets, you know, soar in January and then swoon a little bit at this point. What are you expecting for March?
Again, that's going to be data dependent as well. But all in all, I think the market has held up remarkably well.
Okay, so I think we have a better understanding now of why he's even doing this testifying. He's testified in front of Congress before. So I don't think we're going to get something interesting like that. That's why I'm like, I don't know if we're going to get anything that interesting from him testifying. It's going to be pretty basic to me. But we're going to see. Now let's go to Meta. TikTok has a new bill in Congress that they are taking a little bit more seriously on getting banned. Meta up really nicely at 188. It was at 169 just a couple of weeks ago. So it's recovering pretty nicely. Look, if Meta's up a little bit today on the rumors of the layoffs, if the layoffs happen, plus there is a, how you want to say, TikTok ban, which again, I don't think the TikTok ban is happening, but the rumors of it are getting a bit more serious. Meta's going to be up. Meta is going to be up very nicely. Now, granted, I don't think TikTok's getting banned. I saw Bernie Sanders over the weekend kind of talk about TikTok, and he basically was a little bit more neutral to it than not. And I've seen this more with the Democrats. They've not been as excited as some of the Republicans to flat out say we need to ban this company. And I think there's a variety of reasons for that, but they're a little bit more friendly towards China. I think one of the reasons to argue not banning it is just the hostile relationship you would create with China even more than it is. Now, obviously that's hard to imagine because China has banned Facebook and Google, right? They've banned all of our companies. So if we ban their companies, it's even. You would imagine it's the same. I think the best case scenario is the government forces a sale of TikTok, at least in the United States, to a tech company. And it might be $5-6 billion, whatever it is, to sell it, but like it would be a pretty big sale, and then that tech company would have control. Now, they wouldn't allow Google to own it. They wouldn't allow Facebook to own it. I don't know what company they would have to allow actually own it. Microsoft, maybe. I don't know how Microsoft would deal with it, but you can imagine that would be the solution. Or they just don't ban it, which I think is likely going to happen, that they just don't ban it. But I guess we will see where that goes from there. Still scared to buy up here at 190s on Tesla. Look, I think 190s is actually not the worst entry price. I do think that it can get a little bit lower as like the macro comes down, but that's the hard part with timing it, right? Like we were supposed to have this epic collapse in 2023 and it hasn't happened. Just imagine there being a file called emit in the CCP archives. Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons I never want to visit China, because I've said some stuff about China on this channel and like not friendly stuff. And I'm like, if they know, like, and I just pop in and I'm like, oh, I'm here to visit. And they're like, yeah, you're never leaving, buddy. I'd be like, yeah, that sucks. I don't know. It's always a little fear I've had of wanting to visit China, but I don't know. Hopefully they don't have that stuff. Disney at 180, Google at 95, Pinterest 27, Etsy 120. What else do we have? Shopify 43. Shopify recovering a little nicely. Baba at 89. Now Baba went up to what? Baba went up to like 100, 121 on January 26th from a nice earnings, and then it came down pretty massively. This is also the time when Munger said it's the worst mistake he ever made. So it's down pretty badly from 120. Snapchat at 12. Wow, Snapchat's at 12. Snapchat's at $12. Snapchat was stuck at $9 for a long time. What caused the Snapchat pop? Look at that pop right there from 9.68 to 12. What caused the Snapchat pop? I don't know. I mean, I know they introduced their like subscription ChatGPT thing inside of Snapchat, but I don't know if that's enough to get it from 9 to 12. That's a nice little pop on Snapchat, up 7%. Not bad. Not bad. Meet Kevin's ETF is at $22. It's up 0.04%. So shout out to Meet Kevin. It's up a little bit. Weejo, the interview. A lot of you guys have been asking. That is finally out. I put it out on Friday, I think. So that interview is out. We talk about their reverse merger acquisition thingy majiggy, climate change, a bunch of different stuff that they're doing. We talk about Palantir in there. So Weejo, 64 cents. I am not a shareholder of Weejo. I want to see a little bit more on their earnings to get a better glimpse of them. Obviously, I think they have a lot of potential. I've made it very clear that if I was going to buy SPACs, I would rather not buy the SPACs and just buy Palantir itself, because I think I have exposure to SPACs by doing that. Like if Weejo blows up, that's going to be good for Palantir. So I kind of just like owning more Palantir. Never downloaded it and never will. Yeah, and I can understand that. I can understand people that just never downloaded it. Wall Street admits Street pumping it because of TikTok ban. Come on, man. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. But again, that's not official yet. That's the thing. It's just not official. So it's not happening. Vincent, you know, you're in Singapore. I was talking to actually one of our investors on Sunday morning from Singapore. I didn't know in Singapore it costs like $100,000 to own a car. I didn't know that. There's like this thing this piece of paper that allows you to own a car for 10 years. Like a Honda Civic in America is $21,000. In Singapore, it's like $115,000 or something. I didn't know that. And he was telling me it was just insane. Yeah, as you're saying, Model X costs about $500,000 here in Singapore. Like, the way he explained it to me was Singapore is a smaller country, so they're trying to have less cars, and public transportation is good, so they don't want too many people using cars. But it's a lot of money to buy a car in Singapore. Certificate of entitlement. Yeah, the COE. That's what he was saying. He was like, you need the COE, and it's just like, if you don't have the COE, or it expires every 10 years, and so that costs like $100,000 on top of the car costing $40,000. And I was just like, that's insane, bro. Like, to get a car, to have that much money, it's like, obviously most people that are just starting, they would not buy the car, right? They would go do something. They would use public transport. So it's a good incentive to not buy the car. But I was like, that's crazy. The fact that the car costs that much money. And then housing also is like, except for like 900 square feet or something, it'd be like 500 grand. It's like ridiculous. It's insane. That COE alone can cost 100,000 and only valid for 10 years. Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot. I didn't expect that. When he said that to me, I was just like, wow. And he owns a business where he has to buy a couple of vans. So, he was talking about just like, it is a lot of money. It's a lot of money at the end of the day. And I didn't know that. I did not know that. All right. That's it for me, guys. It is 10 a.m. I got to go get some stuff done. Again, I'm sorry for missing yesterday. I'm going to ingrain it in myself to never miss a morning open again. Yesterday, I just had so many things to do, so I couldn't do it. But I'm back here. Thank you all for being here. Probably we'll have a video a little bit later out today about Palantir pulling out of the debate, and maybe a video on this short report on C3 AI, diving a little bit more deeper into them as well. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys later today. And yeah, thank you all for enjoying the market open. You can follow me on Twitter at @AmidIsInvesting to follow market updates throughout the entire day. and we'll keep going from there. Have a good day, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Have a good week, and I will see you later today. Bye-bye.